We'll go ahead and get started in sitting today. So if you guys want to just find a comfortable seat on your mat, whether it be easy pose, if you like half lotus, you could do that. If you want to come to a modification of hero pose, that would be fine as well. So just taking any comfortable seated position. We'll take a nice deep breath in to lengthen the spine, float the arms up over the head, and then with your arms up over your head, drop the shoulders down, and then think about reaching and lifting through the top of the head and the fingertips, just to bring some length into the spine. One more breath in here. As you exhale, bring the hands together at heart center. Keeping the spine lengthened, reach over your head one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lengthen the spine, reaching through the fingertips, allowing the tops of the shoulders to melt down. One more breath in, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take the palms down today, just resting comfortably on the lap or the thighs, coming more to a grounding position. Do your best to maintain that length in your spine, either lowering the gaze or blinking the eyes closed. Think about lifting the heart, the top of the head, letting the tension release across the forehead and the jaw, maybe allowing the teeth and the lips to separate slightly. Think about grounding down through the sit bones, keeping the spine long, simultaneously rooting down while lifting up. And then draw the breath in nice and long through the nose again. And then big heavy sigh, let the breath out. Good, this next time we'll do the same thing, but lengthen both parts of the breath a little bit more. So big inhale through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Just start to notice your breath. After you've identified the location of your breath as well as the quality of your breath, try to shift the breath low into the belly. Inhaling and exhaling at a pace that feels good for you. Just kind of notice what comes up for you today. Notice any areas of tension or tightness, any areas where you feel restricted. And then today we're going to touch on a little bit of one of the yamas and niyamas, non-violence or ahimsa. And we talked about this a few weeks ago, but I think it still is relevant kind of where we are right now in the world and in our communities locally here. So I invite you to think about first the concept of self-love. So I think it's really important to dedicate time to take care of yourself so it allows you to be in a better position, both mentally and physically, to be able to take care of others. Kind of looking inward a little bit, thinking about maybe how you've treated yourself lately. So are you allowing yourself to have some time to rejuvenate, to create some restorative practices in your life? Or do you feel like you're kind of burning down to the fumes, running on empty? And this concept of self-love is important because how we treat ourselves reflects how we treat others. So I invite you to just turn inward to kind of notice that. And then thinking about how you might be better or kinder to yourself and how that will reflect onto others in your life, whether that be friends or strangers, acquaintances, or family members. So as you continue to breathe deeply, set an intention for your practice today. Something that you would like to focus on, something that's meaningful to you. Bring that intention into your heart. Breathing deeply into that intention. And we'll take another cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And then just go ahead and relax your hands on either side of your hips. And then we'll just start to move the shoulders up and back. You can do this with your eyes opened or closed. Just releasing tension across the tops of the shoulders. And then switch directions, moving them up and forward. Just let your arms kind of go along with the shoulders. Good, and then up and back again, opening the chest, opening across the collarbones. And then relax, let the shoulder blades slide down your back. Inhale, reach your right arm up over your head. And then exhale, side stretch to the opposite wall. Inhale, both arms up to center. And then exhale, switch sides. Left arm reaches up and over to the right. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then exhale, side stretch to the left. This time we'll pause, grounding down through that right sit bone. Really think about reaching up and over through that arm, creating that nice length along the entire right side body. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, switch sides. Reaching the left arm up and over, big side body stretch. Good, inhale, reach both arms all the way up. And then exhale, find a forward fold. Just walking your hands forward, lengthening both sides of the rib cage. Taking a breath in here as you exhale, think about melting your heart towards the floor. Just moving in that direction. Good, walking your hands all the way back up. Go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you, coming into staff pose. Bringing your hands underneath the shoulders, pull the toes back. So you're drawing the toes back, pressing gently into the hands to float the heart, lengthening across the collarbones, really activating around the shoulder girdle here. The legs are nice and active. Then as you exhale, go ahead and step your right foot in so it's close to your buttock. Sit nice and tall. Did I say your left foot? Step your right foot in. And then go ahead and wrap that left arm around. Take a twist to the right. So right leg is bent in, twisting to the right, engaging that left arm to come around the right knee. Sitting nice and tall to lengthen, letting your spine follow your eyes as you rotate. Good, come back to center. That right leg is gonna come to half lotus pose. So bring it over to the left hip crease or the left inner thigh. Just relax through that right knee. So the right knee is gonna fall out to the side. Taking a nice deep breath in to lengthen. Do your best to relax through this knee and hip on the right. And if this hip crease is not available to you, just bring the foot to the inner thigh on the left. Sitting nice and tall here. As you exhale, find a forward fold variation. So seated head to knee pose. A little bit of opening through the hip. Continuing to breathe. Use your inhale to draw the trunk back up. As you exhale, step both feet in. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Your feet are stepped in probably 1.5 feet or so away from the glutes. On an inhale, we're gonna move into reverse bridge pose. So modification of upward plank. kind of that reverse table position, pressing into the hands, gazing up, and then as you exhale, release the hips down. Send the legs long, staff pose. Press into the hands, lift the heart, draw the toes back. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, step the left foot in. Sitting tall, draw the right arm across the left knee and turn and look to the left. Spine twist variation. You can kind of tip that knee, that left knee towards the right shoulder for a little bit of a stretch into the left glute here. The left side of your chest is open, so think about pulling the shoulder blade back towards your spine. One more inhale. As you exhale, release back to center. That left leg is going to cross over to the right hip crease. Half lotus. Relax through the hip and knee and sit tall. Nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, forward fold. Head to knee pose variation. Starting to feel some length into the back of the thigh here. Remember that all of these poses are just options for you, so if something does not feel good, please be mindful of your own limitations and make any modifications that you need to today. Use an inhale to bring the trunk back up. As you exhale, send both legs long. So we'll do one more variation of the upward plank. You can either step your feet in, or for an additional challenge, you can keep your legs long. So on an inhale, you'll press into the hands, lift the hips up, and draw the head back. So hips are high, either knees straight or that reverse table position. Still activating through that back body. Do what works for you. One more breath in. As you exhale, release the hips down. Let's make our way over to tabletop next. So you'll bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips. On an inhale, melt the heart down, lift the gaze, cow pose. As you exhale, press away into cat, and let's release all the way back, extended child's pose. Pausing here if you'd like. Otherwise, inhaling cow pose. Heart forward, tail lifts. Exhale, tuck and round. Release, extended child's pose. Big inhale, cow pose. Exhale, tuck and round. Release, extended child's pose. Take a couple more cycles at your own pace here. Inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat, release, extended child's pose. Just continuing to breathe and move with your breath. Feel free to take a couple extra breaths in that extended child's pose if that feels good for you today. Inhaling to cow, exhale to cat, drawing the navel to the spine, release, extended child's pose. Good, this time we'll add a little bit of a side body stretch. So you'll inhale to cow, exhale to cat, move your hands to the right corner, drop towards the left heel. Side body stretch. We'll just pause here a little bit. You can move slightly from side to side if that feels good, or just hold and lengthen the left side of the trunk. When you're ready, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Hands move to the left corner this time. Drop the hips towards the right heel. Side body stretch. Relax the head and neck. Good, when you're ready, coming back to tabletop here, bring the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Let's do a few cycles of cross body balance. So on an inhale, send your left foot back. So keeping that knee straight, activating the left glute. Foot is flexed, but toes can be down on the mat. If you're able to keep that low belly nice and engaged and float your foot without dumping into your low back, you can certainly do that. If you want an additional challenge, right arm is going to float, palm to the sky. Breathe. As you exhale, pull everything into the center, curling the spine. Inhale, find length, keeping that left foot flexed. Reach through the heel. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen and hold. Breathing. Good, set the right hand down, but keep the left leg lifted. And then we'll pull that knee in towards the nose 2 more times. So exhale and round. Inhale, lengthen, belly is in. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen, hold. Float the right palm 1 more time. Trunk is parallel to the mat. Release everything to tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, tabletop. Send the right toes back this time. So hips are gonna be square to your mat. Belly is in, back knee is straight. Again, being mindful of what your low belly is doing here. So we want that belly to be active to protect the low back. If you're good here, you can keep the toes down or float the foot. Option to float that left palm. Breathing. Again, the trunk is parallel to the mat. Belly draws in towards the spine the entire time. On an exhale, curl to center. Inhale, lengthen, heel to fingertips. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen and hold. Good, set the left hand down, keep the right foot lifted. Continuing to breathe, belly in. Exhale, knee to nose, round your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Hold. And then if you'd like, left palm floats again. And then exhale, release everything, extended child's pose. Drop the sit bones back towards the heels. Walk your fingertips up towards the top edge of your mat. Melt your heart and your forehead down to the mat. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Couple big belly breaths here, yogis. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. 1 more time, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Good, whenever you're ready, you can stay for a few extra breaths here in child's pose. When you're ready, we're gonna start to make our way up to downward facing dog. So remember, in down dog, you'll use the length of your mat. Focus is on that nice triangle shape with your body, pressing firmly into the hands and feet. And this doesn't have to be a static down dog, so you can feel free to pedal out the feet, raise and lower the heels, move the head. Let's really start to get into your body here a little bit. So we'll spend a little bit of time here just connecting with the mat. If downward dog does not feel good for you for whatever reason, you can feel free to either come to tabletop. Another good option if you have wrist troubles is to drop to your forearms and come to dolphin pose. You can also just come to hands and knees or child's pose. So be mindful of your breathing here in down dog. And after you've added some movements, eventually bring your feet back in so they're hips distance apart. Just melting the heels down, pressing through the hands, nice and firm. The sit bones lift up and back. Looking forward towards your hands, go ahead and take a walk up to the top of your mat. Toe heel your feet out a little bit wider. Toes turn slightly in, heels towards the long edges of your mat. And just come to that wider leg forward fold here. Might feel good to just shift your weight slightly from side to side. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, just letting that upper body sway from side to side. Start to feel some length into the back body. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose variation. So you can bring your hands to your shins or just a little bit more forward. If you have a block, you can use it at the top edge of your mat. This is our flat back position here. Then as you exhale, round and fold. Bend your knees a little bit more. Inhale, flat back, monkey pose. Top of the head is forward. Press the weight back into your heels. Exhale, round and fold. Toe heel your feet in so they're hips distance apart now. Set your hands just above your knees. Start to round all the way up to standing, but take your time. So engage the belly, nice and slow. Roll the shoulders back, pedal out the feet as you come to the top of your mat. And then we'll take mountain pose with the palms forward, broadening across the collarbones. On an inhale, sweep your arms up, take a little back bend. As you exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to here, melting your heart towards the thighs. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Pull the belly in. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms out or forward, little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Sun salutation A. Inhale, reach up. Back bend if you'd like. Exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step right, then left. Feet back. Come to plank. Good. Rotate over to your left side. Side arm balance. So inhaling the right arm up, hips high. Perfectly fine to drop that bottom knee down. Exhale to plank pose. Press into that middle part of your back so you're not sagging through the shoulder blades. Inhale, left arm lifts, rotate to the right side. Side arm balance. I know what you're thinking, this is not sun salutation A. It's a variation, yogis. Exhale to plank. Good, we'll hold plank 3 breaths. Press into that middle back, zip your legs together, pull your belly in. Nice and strong here through the midsection. Set the knees down on the mat. Lower half weight chaturanga, low push up. Good, press back up, straight elbows. Good, this time your vinyasa, lower halfway. Hug those elbows in, release to the tummy. Inhale, lift your heart, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, step the right and then the left foot up. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Look up. Exhale, bow forward, fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Left, then right steps back to plank. Pause. Good, inhale, right arm up, side arm balance. Hips are high. Exhale to plank. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale to plank and hold. Your vinyasa from the toes or the knees. If you'd like, 1 chaturanga push-up, lower halfway. Press back to straight elbows, and then vinyasa, lower halfway. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press into the hands and feet, cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward, warrior two. Pivot the back heel down nice and open. Look over the front hand. So tailbone is tucking under, shoulders over the hips. Take a check at that front knee that is tracking over the ankle. Good, take a breath in here. As you exhale, half moon. So shift to the front leg. Right hand goes down, left leg floats up. Little balancing here. If you need to, you can touch that left big toe to the mat for a little bit of extra stability. Good, release as reverse warrior. Open the right side of the trunk, bend in the front knee. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, warrior three, send the arms back. So back leg floats up, shoulder blades draw together, and releases high lunge. Sweep the arms up, back knee is straight, lift your gaze. Good, pause and hold here. Soften the shoulders down, away from the ears. Good, let the right arm drop down. Let's reach the left arm up and over. Little side stretch here, all the way into that left hip. Right fingertips can reach for the floor here. Good, inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, take the hands down to the mat, step it back to plank. 2 breaths. Good, one chaturanga push-up, lower halfway down, back to straight elbows, and then vinyasa, lower halfway, back bend of your choice, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press into the hands and feet and breathe. When you're ready, inhale, left leg high. Reach into that foot. Big step forward, warrior two. Pivot the back heel down, rise. Big wingspan here, reaching left fingertips to right fingertips. Really settling into that front knee. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Noticing the outer edge of that back foot. Looking over the left hand. Take a breath in. As you exhale, find half moon. Shifting your weight onto the front leg. Single leg balance. Your heart is open to the right wall. If you're there, your foot is flexed on that right leg. Good, release gracefully, reverse warrior. Front knee is bent, open the left side body. Relax your face and jaw, continue to breathe. As you exhale, warrior three, send the arms back. So shift your weight forward, let that back leg float up. Pull the shoulder blades together, flex the foot on the right. Belly in. Releases high lunge. Up on the ball of your back foot, float the arms up. So feeling a little stretch into that right hip flexor now. Back knee is straight, shoulders drop down away from the ears. Let's send the left arm down towards the floor. Reach the right arm up and over, side stretch. Continuing to breathe here. Good, inhale, both arms back up. As you exhale, release the hands, interlace them right on top of the sacrum. Draw down and back, open the chest. Shoulder blades pull together. Good, release, sweep both arms up. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Find plank pose. 2 breaths. Press into that middle part of your back. Chaturanga push-up, lower halfway down. Press back to plank. Then your vinyasa, lower halfway. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Looking forward to the hands, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up. Exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank pose. 2 breaths. Pull the belly in. Inhale, right arm up, side arm balance on the left, hips high. Option to float that top leg. Good, release to plank, 2 breaths. Perfectly fine to drop to your knees here, yogis. Inhale the left arm up, side arm balance. Option to float that top leg. Release to plank. From your toes or your knees, chaturanga push-up. 1 time. And vinyasa, your last one, yogis, lower halfway. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, look forward between the hands. Go ahead and take a walk with your feet up to your hands and then come to kneeling in the middle part of your mat. So we'll give an option for a little bit of an arm balance today. If you want to practice your crow pose, you can. Take a little bit of time here to do that before we come down to a couple other laying down poses. So remember when we come into crow pose, a couple of key things here. Even if you don't let your feet come up or you're not able to move into that at this point, you're still going to focus on looking forward. So what you're going to do is you're going to come towards the top of your, or towards the back of your mat into kind of that perched position. And you're going to create a shelf with your arms. So your elbows are going to be bent slightly. Your palms are spread nice and wide. And the key is to look towards the top edge of your mat. And all I want you to do is focus on shifting your weight towards your fingertips and looking ahead of your hands. So you don't want to muscle up your feet. You just want to be able to come to that sweet spot where you're balancing. So I can't see what any of you are doing, so just be safe. And don't force it. So give yourself a little bit of time. Gaze is ahead. Knees are hooked on the back of the arms. Looking forward, just play with shifting your weight towards your fingertips. So play with it for a little bit. Pull your belly in and breathe. When you've had enough, child's pose or extended child's pose. And then from child's pose, go ahead and come to tabletop towards the back edge of your mat. So we'll give just a couple options for some hip openers today. If you'd like to, or if you practice pigeon pose, we're gonna move into that. The option in place of pigeon pose is to take that figure 4 stretch on your back. So we'll set up pigeon first. From that figure 4 position, you're gonna sweep your right leg through, working towards setting up that lower leg to be parallel to the top edge of your mat. So you'll shimmy back through the left leg and then just kind of settle into your hips. This is a good place for a prop underneath your sit bone, or if you have a rolled up shirt or towel, you could use that too so you're not shifting your hips off to the side. If you want to spend a little bit of time here on straight elbows, you can do that, or you can come down to that restorative pigeon where you're folding over that front leg. So lots of variations depending on what your hips feel like from side to side and kind of what feels good for you. So give yourself a little bit of grace here to have some variability in the pose. And then just start to deepen your breath wherever you are. And then that figure 4 position, as a reminder, is on your back. Right crosses over left, and you draw the legs in. And then if you came down to your forearms, go ahead and start to slowly come up. And then instead of coming back to tabletop, I want you to bring that back leg just up towards your right foot. So you're in sort of a side sit position. And then take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, take an easy twist to the right. Keeping your spine nice and long. And then as you exhale, take a counter twist. So just easy to the left. And then release back to center. Coming back to that tabletop position, just step your legs underneath you. You can shift your hips a little bit from side to side if you like, just kind of feeling out the differences from right to left here before we move into pigeon on the second side. So from that hands and knees position, you'll sweep the left leg through, shimmy that right leg back, so you're really reaching back through the right leg. And then again, prop underneath the sit bone on the left if you'd like. Straight elbows for a few breaths here, or walk down to that restorative pigeon. So working on lengthening both through the hip flexor as well as the rotators of the hip and the glutes. Remember, we're not moving into pain or discomfort, so important here to kind of find your comfortable edge, but not move past it. And then when you feel ready, if you came down, go ahead and start to slowly walk your hands up, and then shift your weight onto that left hip. Slowly draw the back leg up to meet with the left foot. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, take a twist to the left side. So turning and looking over that left shoulder. And then releasing back to center, counter twist. Nice and easy. And then coming back to the center, go ahead and bring the feet around so they're on your mat. We'll float the palms up, take our time, and come all the way down to our back. So engaging your belly, slowly releasing all the way down. Once you're on your back, go ahead and draw the knees into your chest and just start to rock gently from side to side, massaging out the low back. So here you can do any number of poses. I know a lot of us have kind of preferences for things that we like to do towards the end of our practice before we come into Shavasana. So another inversion might feel good, a reclining spinal twist, happy baby. So just go ahead and take a little bit of time here to explore any additional poses to complete your practice today. And then as you're finishing these final poses, recall that intention that you set for your practice today. We also talked about self-love, taking care of yourself so that you can serve others in your life better or with greater ease. So just noticing how you feel as we start to come to the end of our practice today. Whenever you feel ready, you can come into your final relaxation, no rush. So taking time to complete those additional poses. And then when you feel ready, making your way to your final relaxation, Shavasana. If you are not comfortable on your back, you can also take Shavasana on your side or any other restorative pose of your choice. So settling into your final relaxation, once again taking a cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. So today we will finish our practice in Shavasana, so we won't do a formal kind of awakening. So if you want to take an extra few minutes in Shavasana today, you're invited to do that. So after, once we come to about the 12:55 time, I will just sign off with a namaste. So tucking the shoulder blades underneath you, allowing the palms to be open to the sky, releasing any last remaining tension that you feel. This is your time to rest your body. So it's not often throughout our day where we get to just be still in both our body and our minds. Notice how you feel. And I invite you to think about something that you're grateful for in your life right now. Then I invite you to think about someone in your life that you're grateful for. Lastly, I invite you to stay here in this moment. You are living, you are breathing, you are present here. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of the belly with each breath. Taking this time to pause, to slow down, to be kind to yourself. then I'll leave you with a quote today from Deborah Adele's book. Every human being walking this earth has painful stories tucked in the corners of their hearts. If we could remember this truth, perhaps we could see with the eyes of compassion rather than the eyes of our own judgments and preferences. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.